Thanks again to Ryan, class of 15, for, along with our praise band, leading us in worship this morning. Appreciate it so much. Good morning. Welcome to the 2018 Alumni Chapel. This is a special day. It's a special week with homecoming, but today we have the opportunity to really recognize all our alumni by recognizing some very special alumni. So the alumni here today and the parents here today for these awards really represent all our alumni. Folks being honored today come from different geographical regions. They represent several decades in the span of age ranges, and they've had various platforms to live out their faith. But all of them have used their God-given talents and lived out the mission of Grace College and Seminary in some extraordinary ways. We're excited to honor them today. They're here with family and special friends, and we, along with them, give the praise for these awards back to our Lord. Now, would you please join me as we begin watching this tribute to Alumni Distinguished Service Award winner, Jana Minix.
I think that Janet deserves the Alumni Award because she has prayerfully and faithfully, financially, all sorts of ways supported what Grace College is about. So she lives out the mission in her local church. She has been part of what Grace College really is trying to do in the world, disciple and train leaders. And I think she's been a big cheerleader for not only those who come to campus, but those who are leading here on campus.
She's the same when she's with a group of people as she is when it's just one-on-one. She knows how to make decisions that are very well thought through and that definitely are based on kingdom principles.
She is so faithful and has an authentic relationship with Jesus, and that shines through her. It shines through her decisions. It's part of her decision-making process. It all comes to bear in who she is and what she contributes to any organization.
She's very committed to becoming a woman of God, and I admire that very much. One of the things that I've admired about her in her leadership is the amount of research that she does, things that she doesn't know about. She will research it, she will study it. She really seeks excellence in everything that she does. She also has a very quick awareness of people who might be being overlooked or who might need some special care. I've watched as she's helped immigrants in her community, how she's just reached out to anyone who needs her help. And I've admired and appreciated that too.
Janet, we are so excited to be able to honor you with this award. I know that you're somebody who would never think that you deserve this, but we can all see it in you, and we just congratulate you for being the Alumnus of the Year.
Janet, congratulations on this award. I surely believe you deserve it, and I'm so grateful to have you in my life.
My name is Drew Flam. I serve here at Grace as the Vice President of Advancement, and joined with me on stage is Denny Duncan, the Director of Alumni Relations. And our first award is the Alumni Distinguished Service Award presented to Janet Minix. This award is given in recognition of alumni who have exhibited Christian leadership and who have displayed extraordinary service to the increased welfare of Grace College and Seminary. After graduating from Grace just a few years ago, Janet spent the majority of her career serving Women of Grace USA, a national ministry of the Charis Fellowship, known to many of us by the Fellowship of Grace Brethren Churches. The last 17 years, she served as president of Women of Grace USA until she retired in 2014. Additionally, over the past 12 years, Janet has served on the Board of Trustees for Grace College and Seminary. She was secretary for many of those years, and her quiet service in that role was extremely valuable. There was never a detail from any meeting that Janet missed. Janet lives in Roanoke, Virginia with her husband, Odell. They've been married for 55 years and have 2 sons and 3 grandchildren, including Ashman Minix, who graduated from Grace this past May. Congratulate with me, Janet Minix. Please enjoy this next tribute video in recognition of our Young Alumni of the Year.
Well, Patrick has achieved a lot in a short period of time, about 10 years. In that 10-year period of time, he has gone from just being a basic college graduate, I guess you'd say, to a partner of a CPA firm that's a very respected and pretty large CPA firm. You do have to work hard. You have to have the ability to do more than just accounting. You have to be able to satisfy clients' needs and to lead other people and to train other people.
The way Patrick lives out his life exemplifies everything that Grace College is about, from his professionalism, his work ethic, and the way he lives out his faith and treats other people. Yeah, the first time I met him, we were recruiting him to come to work for us from another accounting firm, and he was just a genuinely good guy, very gregarious personality, very bubbly, and we could tell he would be a great fit in our organization.
Patrick's very personable, so easy to talk to, easy to meet, seems to have something in common with everyone, and conversations just flow very well with Patrick.
We're thrilled to have Patrick on our team. He's just a great person. He's demonstrates his faith through actions, but he's not overly pushy. He listens to other people, other points of views.
I think probably his greatest attribute is that he knows how to work and knows how to work hard when he needs to work. And that doesn't mean that he always works, because I know he volunteers at his church. He has 4 children, I believe, and so I know he spends time with them as well and goes to their events. And I think Patrick has figured that out in life, how to stay balanced, how to continue to be involved in church and family and in Grace College.
Patrick, congratulations. We're really proud of you.
Congratulations, Patrick. This is a well-deserved award. And I know that you have worked hard, but you've never really worked to try to achieve this. And that's what I think makes it all the more special, is that you've stayed true to yourself and your values. And I value you as a person, as a Grace College graduate, as an accountant, and now as an award winner for Grace College. Congratulations.
The Young Alumni of the Year Award is presented this morning to Patrick Lee. This award is presented in recognition of a Grace College alum who has made significant contributions to society and made significant professional advancements in their career in less than 10 years since graduation. After graduating from Grace in 2008, Patrick began his accounting career at RSM, a national firm specializing in tax, audit, and consulting services. In 2011, he joined Krugel Lawton CPAs as a senior staff accountant, and just this past January, at the age of 32, Patrick was named as a partner at Krugel Lawton CPAs. Bill Heffelfinger says it's a rare feat to become a partner at a public accounting firm at such a young age. Patrick has exhibited the traits we look for in a partner. He is an expert in his field of practice, passionate about developing team members, driven to grow our practice, and he exemplifies our firm's values. Patrick lives in Goshen with his wife Ruth and their 4 children, Lydia, Caleb, Rachel, and Selah. Hi, how are you guys? We'll give a wave out there. Good. Congratulate with me, Patrick Lee. Please enjoy this next video presentation for our Parent Distinguished Service Award winners.
So Dan and Renee are my parents. They live in Columbus, Ohio, and my dad is an architect and actually has his own architecture firm, and my mom kind of does all the behind-the-scenes work for his business.
So I can't imagine anyone that could deserve this award more than Dan and Renee. They are huge supporters of the school, they're huge supporters of their kid, and they have really gone the extra mile in giving of their time. Can't hardly believe that 4 years are coming to a close, but in that time, they have just done everything in their power to support and be positive toward Grace College.
So my parents are constantly connected with the Grace community. They haven't missed a golf tournament yet. They're constantly over here for different events and different things that they volunteer for, like the parent council, and constantly connected through social media and keeping up with everything that's going on with Grace through that as well.
Dan never misses a tournament. I don't think he's missed a single one. When we travel to Columbus, we stay at their home. Renee's fixing food for the kids. But even more than that, there's this sense of support that they provide, not just for the players, but also for me in a lot of ways.
I know as soon as I committed to come to Grace, they were all in every aspect, not just golf, but just supporting Grace in every way that they could, especially with the parent council, and that's been a lot of extra trips for them here, and that's a long drive and a lot of windshield time for them, but they love it and they absolutely enjoy being a part of that and being able to serve at that level.
I know with renovations to the Gordon Rec Center, he was one of the first people to help provide ideas and suggestions. He also was huge with, was a tremendous help with our indoor practice facility. He created professional design plans that were kind of created a momentum. We could say, hey, this is our vision, this is what we want to do to administration, and it was more than just an idea or thought. Both Dan and Renee have just this remarkable, kind spirit about them that's encouraging and welcoming and just supporting. And I think that might be their greatest attribute, the way that they just make people feel better whenever they're around them.
Mom and Dad, congratulations. There's no one else that I know more deserving of this, and I thank you so much for your support this past 4 years.
Dan and Renee, no one could deserve this award more than you. I'm so happy that it's worked out. Congratulations.
Parent Distinguished Service Award is presented to Dan and Renee Kaiser. This award is presented in recognition of a Grace student's parents who have exhibited extraordinary service to the increased welfare of Grace College and Seminary. Dan and Renee, as you just heard, are the proud parents of Lauren Kaiser, who was the Grace's first female golf recruit 4 years ago. In the past 4 years, Dan and Renee haven't missed a single of Lauren's tournaments, regardless of distance. Though we did hear last night, you missed 11 holes when you got hit with a golf ball and had to go to the hospital to get stitches. So you missed a few holes, but not the whole tournament. And Dan and Renee have utilized their business, Kaiser Design Group, in Columbus, Ohio, to serve Grace. Dan as the principal architect and founder of the firm, and Renee as director of business management. Not only has KDG consulted on various construction projects on campus, but it also donated design services for the indoor golf practice facility that Coach Denny Duncan loves and that he won't let me use. And further, the Kaisers have served on the Parent Council since its inception 4 years ago, volunteering at events like Family Weekend and at Welcome Weekend. Please congratulate with me our Parent Distinguished Service Award winners, Dan and Renee Kaiser. Please enjoy our next video tribute for the Honorary Alumni of the Year Award.
I first met Susie Light 10 years ago, back in 2008 when I first started here at Grace College. And since then, I've considered her my #1 coach and cheerleader, specifically in the fundraising role with the Lilly Center for Lakes and Streams here on campus.
Well, if you lived in Warsaw, Kosciuszko County very long, you know Susie. She's out and about every place. When you think of nonprofits, you think of philanthropy, you think of Susie. I probably got to know her first through the Lakes and Stream, and then I began to understand what the foundation does and how much Susie does.
Susie is the best fundraiser in the county. She is amazing at looking at what someone's desired outcome is and connecting the dots to be able to make that thing happen. And many of us learn a great deal about fundraising through her. The Lilly Center would not exist here on Grace's campus without Susie Light. She was the one responsible for pulling together Grace College and a donor from one of our local lakes.
She cares for us. She helps us grow as a college and improve. She helps, a big way is getting us connected to the community and helping us sometimes avoid issues or problems. And if there's things we need to know, she's not just a yes person, people who know Susie, but she really gives us great sage advice.
She is infectious in the way she helps us be enthusiastic and help us want to work hard and do the best that we can to serve our community. And so she is looking in the best interest for many different nonprofit organizations around Kosciuszko County all at the same time, which I think is a really cool way to look at serving our community.
She really is Miss Kosciuszko County, and she just knows people, she knows nonprofits, she knows our business community, and she's a connector. She connects needs with people who have resources and have passion and have heart to want to meet those needs.
Susie, congratulations on receiving this award for this year. I know personally I am so appreciative to you as being such a wonderful coach and cheerleader over the years, and I know for many other people here at Grace College, you have been so generous in sharing insights and in sharing your expertise to help us in fundraising and being more effective as an organization. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Thanks for being one of us, and thanks for allowing us to honor you in this way.
This year's Honorary Alumni of the Year award recipient is Susie Light. This award is given in recognition of a non-alum who has exhibited Christian leadership and who has displayed extraordinary service to the increased welfare of Grace College and Seminary. Susie Light, as Dr. Cadup mentioned, is befittingly nicknamed Miss Kosciuszko County. She has served as the CEO and Executive Director of the Kosciuszko County Community Foundation for more than 2 decades, cultivating a culture of philanthropy that has grown the foundation's assets, listen to this, from $400,000 to over $57 million. Susie grew up in Kosciuszko County and hasn't only watched Grace emerge as an innovative institution, but she's been instrumental in making it happen. Most recently, Susie has served as the impetus for the creation and expansion of the Lilly Center for Lakes and Streams, an endeavor that has allowed Grace to serve our community and grow our educational offerings. The Lilly Center's beginnings are rooted in an email Susie sent to Dr. Ron Manahan, our former president, back in 2006, when she inquired whether Grace might be interested in meeting a donor's request to measure and monitor the water quality in our county. Susie's service to Grace is undoubtedly apparent in other physical changes on campus, from the restoration of Westminster Hall to the newly housed Lilly Center for Lakes and Streams in the Dr. Dane A. Miller Science Complex. Susie and her husband, Steve, reside in Warsaw, Indiana. They are the parents to 2 grown children and delight in their 1 grandchild. Congratulations, Susie. Our final award and tribute is for our Alumni of the Year award recipient.
I met Kelly when I was her patient. I was sent to her through the local physicians here in Indianapolis because I had a malignancy. There was no question I would need surgery. She sat down with my husband and myself and explained everything, drew pictures. She knew I was a registered nurse, but she brought it down so that I could understand every single thing she said.
She has a passion for everything she does. There doesn't seem to be a bone in her body that holds her back from that. I admire that about someone who's passionate about what they do. And that spills over into her being passionate about following God.
She was so kind and so understanding, knew how frightened I was, just did everything she could to make us comfortable.
Well, she's been involved in the Aspire capital campaign, working especially with health professionals that are Grace grads. And then she has been on several subcommittees helping out.
I have worked with many doctors throughout my nursing career, and I have to say that I believe she is one of the finest doctors I have ever dealt with in a professional manner and also as a patient. She was kind, she was understanding, she didn't beat around the bush, she told everything like it was, she gave me options, and I really appreciated everything she did for me.
Kelly, I am really proud of you. Congratulations. I've enjoyed sitting here and talking about you. And from my viewpoint, it was all wonderful. I hope it is for you too. Love you a lot.
I'm so happy that we got to know each other and that you were my physician and you did such a fine job. You are a great person and you certainly deserve this award.
Our 2018 Alumni of the Year Award recipient is Dr. Kelly Manahan Geisler. This award is given in recognition of an alum who has enhanced Grace College and Seminary's mission, reputation, or campus morale, and represents the school with professionalism, enthusiasm, and dedication. When Dr. Kelly Geisler enrolled at Grace, she planned on only being here for 1 year. She had received a scholarship to go to the University of Chicago and planned to transfer there to pursue medicine. Instead, Kelly stayed at Grace, wooed by its community of faith and rigorous biology department led by Dr. J and Dr. Lee. After graduating from Indiana University in 1994, Kelly was named chief resident in 1998 during her residency at the Medical School of Ohio. She then went on to specialize in gynecologic oncology when she was awarded the Gynecologic Oncology Fellowship at the University of Michigan, becoming the first student from the Medical School of Ohio to pursue the field of gynecologic oncology. Kelly currently serves as the Director of Gynecologic Oncology at the Cancer Treatment Centers of America in Atlanta, where she diagnoses and treats complicated cancers. Kelly and her husband, John, became grandparents just this past September, and I believe Dawson's here with us this morning. Okay, good. Congratulations, and join with me in congratulating our 2018 Alumni of the Year Award recipient, Dr. Kelly Geisler. Okay. Now I have the opportunity to interview Dr. Kelly Geisler for a couple minutes so we can learn a little bit more about you and about your career. But I first have to say, I've never said the word gynecologic that many times in my life. It's not a word I use very often.
You did a really good job.
So I practiced that one a little bit. You had a unique perspective at Grace because you grew up here, and you told us a little bit about that last night. So tell us about your perspective on Grace as you grew up here and were the president's daughter.
So Grace was a part of my life ever since I was this high. I thought Grace students were really, really cool. In fact, Grace students, they would let me listen to music that wasn't allowed in our house.
Like Michael W. Smith or
Well,
something like crazy like that?
in our house, I'm just saying that Sandy Patty was kind of edgy. So we would listen to Chicago and stuff like that. So I thought Gray students were really, really awesome. I grew up going to basketball games with my dad, and those were wonderful, wonderful times. And so when it came to picking a place where I felt that I belonged, Grace was very high on the list. It was a community that I wanted to be a part of.
You told me, actually your dad told me a story about you had planned to go to the University of Chicago, but there was this trip you were on. Your family was actually in Chicago, and your mind kind of changed to deciding to come to Grace. So what kind of flipped you? I mean, University of Chicago is a top 10 school in our nation, and you are obviously a very bright person. What made you decide, you know what, Grace is the place for my face?
Nice. It was on this trip that we were driving. Dad tells me we were on I-94, and we were driving back home through the heart of Chicago. And I don't know if how many of you know where University of Chicago is located, but it's located in a relatively rough part of Chicago. Incredible school, incredible academics. But I just could not envision myself being a student at the University of Chicago. U of Chicago had pursued me and sent me letters and had given me a little bit of scholarship money. And so it would have been an amazing opportunity. I'm so thankful that I made the choice, however, to remain here, because after my freshman year here, I couldn't leave the community that was here. And the biology program that I was in, I didn't know how well it was going to prepare me. I just knew that I was having to study a lot and that it was very rigorous. And so that I felt at that point that if I left and went to the U of Chicago, I would be giving up the community support, the Christ-centered community support that I had here.
Rumor has it when you were here, you had trouble in labs even dissecting frogs. So how did you go from that queasy over frog surgery to doing major, rare cancer surgeries at a high level?
Well, my husband gave me a really good answer to this one, and that is that I really like frogs. But people, Not true. So I think the big difference is when you're taking care of a patient, that's a human life, and you are given the opportunity to intervene in their life at a time that is absolutely terrifying, life-altering, family-altering, and you have the opportunity to impact that. And so if impacting that is talking with them in the office, good. If impacting that is helping them through chemotherapy, good. If impacting them is taking disease out of them, then that's good. There's also something very interesting about doing surgery. My husband and I talk about this frequently, that there are certain parts of the human body that I would not want to operate on. I'm not a big fan of bones. I'm not a big fan of eyeballs. And I'm not a big fan of just the head in general. So when I'm operating on somebody, a drape is put up, and I am focused on here. And so there is something that God allows to happen that is separate from me while I am focused on taking out cancer. So I think that is a really big difference between, frog lab and actually taking care of people.
I had the opportunity last winter to have dinner with an alum, and you came up in that conversation. I didn't realize there was a connection. And she said to me that you literally saved her life. And so tell me about your interactions with patients and even how your faith informs how you interact with your patients.
My relationship with patients is really, really important to me. I think when I was going through training, I really think the thing that happened in my life that changed my perspective deeply was that my own mom was diagnosed with breast cancer when I was in my residency training in Ohio. And I got to see for the first time what it was like to sit in a waiting room and have absolutely no control of what was going on, be depending on every word that the doctor might say, not knowing what additional treatment she might need, not knowing what prognosis she might receive. That changes you. If it doesn't, you need to examine where you are here. That made me think always, I think this many, many times every day, what is it like to be this patient? What is it like for that family member right now? So that very much changes how we, my husband and me, take care of patients. We value those relationships. It also allows us the opportunity to talk freely and openly about our faith, because when people are facing a crisis in their lives, there's a real new and fresh perspective on death. What's going to happen to me? Where am I going? What do I really believe about God? Do I know God? And we have been in many institutions where maybe it wasn't valued to speak about your faith. One of the things that we absolutely adore about CTCA is the absolute freedom and encouragement that there is to speak openly about our faith and about the fact that God is not surprised by any of the things that are happening in this patient's life, and that God knows the outcome, and that he's in charge of all of this. My husband has been a real warrior in speaking freely at whatever institution we've been in about his faith, and he has taught me a lot about that. So I really appreciate what I've learned from him in that regard.
So you mentioned your husband, who is also, like you, a well-known doctor in the same field, and you both often get listed together as top doctors of this and top doctors of that. And what's it like working with your husband day in and day out? I know you guys drive to work together. You're at work. You drive home together. Tell us a little bit about that working dynamic.
A lot of people say, oh my word, how in the world could you do that? That is ridiculous.
My wife would say that,
yeah,
yes. Yeah,
see, right? Yeah. For us, it works. I say this often, and I truly mean this. John is the most brilliant man I have ever met in my life, and I am not joking when I say that. I use him to my advantage in that way. I use him as a consultation every day. What about this? What do you think about this? What's the research on this? He can catalog more information than, I can't even describe it. It's ridiculous. He's brilliant. And he's brilliant in terms of research, his ability to take things that are very cellular, that are very ultra microscopic, and apply it to a patient that we're seeing today. So for me, it's an incredible comfort to have someone there to just bounce things off of all the time. It works for us, and I believe we have seen this in our practice, that being able to have teamwork in caring for patients results in better patient outcomes, more advanced care, and actually we believe that right now in our career, God is allowing us to provide the best care that we've ever provided for patients.
So you said really a lot of nice things about him, but my real question is, who's the better doctor, you or him? Which one? So I mean, I don't.
So I'm gonna be honest. We each have different talents.
Oh, come on, come on. Okay. You've stayed really engaged with Grace, and I would say for me in the last couple of years, that's even been increased. I've seen that more and more, especially with the building of the Science Center. Tell me what you're excited about, why you're really engaged, why you've wanted to be a part and continue to be a part of this community.
So growing up and even being a student here, I had a relationship with Grace that was largely based on my dad and my mom being in the position that they were. And so I really feel that just since I've been a part of the Capital Campaign Committee and contributing in that way, that I've kind of grown up a little bit, and I have my own relationship, an adult relationship with Grace. John and I have had various institutions or organizations that we've been passionate about, but there are two that we're really passionate about. One is a not-for-profit organization that does medical mission work in the Ivory Coast in Africa, and John is the medical director for the medical teams that go once a year, every February, and we are both on the board of that organization, and we contribute to that as well. But the other organization that we're incredibly passionate about is Grace. Grace has had a significant impact on me and my life, so much so that my own daughter, my own son-in-law are graduates of this institution as well. And so that impact goes on because we talk about Grace and we attend things here and want to see what goes on here continue. So being a part of the Capital Campaign Committee has been a great learning experience for me. I've been honored to be a part of that, to learn about fundraising, to learn about establishing connections with people that are willing to give dollars to help things happen here for the betterment of y'all. And so we intend to continue to be involved, to contribute, to talk to prospective students, to talk to kids that are biology majors that are thinking about medicine. We intend to continue to contribute in those ways because we're passionate about the impact that's made on my life and our family's life.
And I can just speak and say that Kelly has been instrumental in connecting many of our health professionals back to Grace College. And the Dr. Dana Miller Science Complex, which we open officially today through our grand opening this afternoon, which you're all invited to, in large part is due to Kelly and her willingness to reach out to alums and to engage them to be a part of what's going on here at Grace. So I think we all have reason to thank you for what you have done for Grace College in representing us out there, but also for what you've done for Grace College here and the generations to come that will be trained to be doctors, nurses, out in the field changing lives. And that's what we're about here at Grace College, and thank you for representing that so well. Would you thank with me Dr. Kelly Manahan-Geisler one more time?
Thank you.
Let me end our time in prayer this morning, and then you will be dismissed. Lord God, we thank you for this opportunity today to just give you praise and honor as we honor those who have done well, who have exhibited Grace College's mission and ultimately your mission in the world by how they have lived out their faith. And we thank you so much for each of our award winners and what they represent. We thank you for our students, and we're excited to see, Lord, where you take them 5, 10, 15, 20, 50 years from now, and what you'll do through their life in making an impact in this world for Christ. Give us a great day, and we pray all this in the name of Jesus. Amen. You are dismissed. Thank you.